After we've had a chance for the dust to settle after the Chris Tanev trade to the Dallas Stars, Tanev has had a chance to speak and has revealed the truth about why a deal couldn't be done within the organization and why Dallas was chosen specifically. Welcome to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here, you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe for all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors on the Calgary Flames. Feel free to join the fastest growing community of Flames fans on the internet. But the big news still is that Chris Tanev is on his way out. He has been sent to the Dallas Stars. Calgary, I know, they're missing him. We're missing him. As Flames fans, no matter what, he is missed. Whichever side of the debate you're on from was the trade a win for the Flames? Was it a big L for the Flames? No matter what, we can agree Chris Tanev will be missed here for sure. But he has had the chance to speak. He had a little conversation with Eric Francis the other day of Sportsnet. And so a few things were revealed about the truth of why, he couldn't stick around in Calgary, didn't sign here. So the first thing is why Dallas specifically? Why the Dallas Stars? Why not go to, another premier contender, maybe a Canadian one like the Oilers or the Maple Leafs? Now, I know Tanev obviously had a bit of a no-trade list, but at the end of the day, it's more on Craig Conroy to find Tanev the right place to go. So let's take a look at this little interview. So Eric Francis tweeted, just got off the phone with Chris Tanev, who said it's been an emotional 24 hours as he loved his time in Calgary. He took me through the process that led to his trade to Dallas, which he is excited about. We had brief talks in training camp, and then basically a couple weeks ago, I sat down with Connie and said, I want to try to win. This could be my best chance to do it. He was super understanding and would only trade me to a team where they have the potential to win, and I appreciate that. Now, that's obviously Tanev speaking there in the quotations. So Tanev needed a chance to win. This was the type of team that had the potential to win the cup this year. So I definitely think maybe some conversations were had about if Dallas is a good contender or not. But let's continue this here. So as hard as it was, I felt the best opportunity to win a Stanley Cup, which has been my ultimate goal my whole career, just like any other player. He'll remain in Calgary a few more days, which is not anymore, but while trying to secure his visa, and said that while he's excited to throw himself into the Stars experience, he will remain open-minded if he becomes a UFA in the summer and wouldn't dismiss the possibility of re-signing in Calgary. Now, that might be more of a formality, Tanev just being a nice guy, but I'll have more on that in the next chapter of this video about what he said there. But I want to know, for you as a Flames fan, would you want Tanev to, go try and win a cup this year and then come right back to Calgary and sign again? The Flames should have quite a bit of cap space next season, in this offseason. So definitely potential for Tanev to come back. But it looks like Dallas was chosen specifically here because, they probably had what Conroy thought was the best offer on the table. And I know it's been speculated by so many media outlets of what Toronto was offering, what Edmonton was offering. I know there's a bunch of articles saying Edmonton had the best offer, but Conroy didn't want to give him to Edmonton. I don't know if that's fully true. I mean, obviously we need the truth revealed on that one, but the truth being revealed in this one is from Tanev's side of things. So I think Dallas, seen as a very good contender, was the reason why that Conroy said, or got a deal done for Tanev after Tanev said he really wants to go to a contender. He is 34, so, he's kind of past his prime a little bit. I'd argue he's had his prime for the last 10 seasons or so. But no, it's definitely his best chance to win, and Conroy got it done for him. Now, one last thing I want to look at in this chapter is from Frank Saravalli. And he said, I don't think Brad Treliving was trading a first-round pick for Chris Tanev unless there was some sort of larger package. So that could explain why he went to Dallas and not Toronto. Treliving probably would have wanted, if he were to give up that first-round pick, I'm sure a later round pick would have had to come back, or maybe a prospect. And that's just the way the market is this season, apparently. His first round picks aren't being thrown around for defensemen. We've seen it happen with forwards, with Lindholm and Monahan, but maybe that's just not the case with defensemen, especially with Tanev. The problem with Tanev, again, is age and durability. Now, I wouldn't say has that big of an issue with durability, but still, if we look at some of the defensemen who have gone for first rounders in the past few years, it's always that they're so young. A lot of people compare it to last year. Rasmus Sandin at the deadline went for a first round pick. It's because he was 22, which is 12 years younger than Tanev is now. So that's a big part of it as well. I'm sure Conroy, he said he was going through his options. He called back to other teams about what they were offering and all of that. And he said Dallas genuinely had the best trade the best package for the Flames on the table. We'll take his word for it. I know a lot of media will speculate saying, oh, probably Edmonton or Toronto or Boston or whoever. Some of the bigger markets had, big offers on the table. But either way, we know Dallas was chosen just to give Tanev a great chance to win, and that is somewhere where Tanev most likely wanted to go. Now let's continue on the truth being revealed by Tanev and talk about how he is a true professional. He had some very, very nice words for Flames fans and the city of Calgary. So continuing with his conversation with Eric Francis, Tanev, he didn't beat around the bush. He was honest about his time here in Calgary, and so let's take a look at what he had to say. So he didn't hesitate when he asked for his biggest takeaway from his time in Alberta. This is Tanev speaking. For me, it's the people of Calgary, said the selfless fan favorite, and he will continue to be one, I'm sure. The fans, right from day one, they welcomed me with open arms and treated my family so well. That's very true. You know what? I actually ran into Chris Tanev out in public, out at Lazy Loaf and Kettle, if you've ever been there. I actually ran into him and a few other Flames, and he seemed like a really great guy. And I'd like to think that I treated him well as well. So maybe he's talking about me here. My goodness, how scandalous. Let's continue the interview, though, before I really try and embarrass myself here. I really say this honestly. The people in the city are so first class. The nicest people you can imagine. We have a lot of close friends in the city. Oh my goodness, maybe he's talking about me again. We met outside of hockey, which is important because you need to have that to get away from the game. So true. A lot of players in any sport will go to a city or in some cases another country, and they just don't fit in with the people of the city or with the sports organization they're playing with, of course. And it causes a lot of issues. It can hurt their performance, and they might have to go back home and play for their home team in order to be successful. So it's great that we, took Tanev in and accepted him, and he got along great here. He doesn't seem like a huge personality guy, but of course he's easy to get along with, and I'm glad that he had a good time here in Calgary while it lasted, and who knows, it might not be over. But here's the last part here. Asked if he would consider re-signing with the Flames in the summer, he was diplomatic. I want to jump in with 2 feet in Dallas right now and see where it goes, and if things play out where I am a free agent July 1st, I will have an open mind for sure and would definitely consider coming back. Now, this is Eric Francis writing here at the bottom. That's not happening, but fans of Calgary's retooling club will appreciate the sentiment. Like I said, it's more of a formality. Most athletes are going to say, I had a great time in the city. Oh, I'm going to be a free agent. Of course, I might re-sign. I mean, the big one that's happened in the recent future is John Tavares. He said all of that about the Islanders and then chose Toronto, and Islanders fans are still very upset about it. Look at Flames fans with Johnny Gaudreau. He was saying the same thing. And then he went on a car ride and everything all changed and he chose Columbus. But either way, I'm not salty about anything here. And of course, Chris Tanev, he has left Calgary in the right way. Like Eric Francis wrote, he's a fan favorite. And I think he will continue to be such a warrior. He did so many good things for this franchise. It's a little bit upsetting for him to be separated from Jacob Markstrom since they've spent so much time together. But if Markstrom's staying here, maybe that means Tanev has to come back here in the summer. But again, I do want to know if you guys think Chris Tanev should re-sign with Calgary in the offseason. Just be the classic perfect rental of, we'll trade you away for a few months, get some assets back, and then you can come right on back and we'll give you a boatload of money again. The last thing I want to look at, just because Chris Tanev is just such a pleasure to talk about, is that he is a mathematician. Now, I know I didn't expect to have a chapter titled that either, but it's very funny. If you haven't seen it yet, Chris Tanev has chosen a new number over in Dallas. Obviously, he was number 8 over here in Calgary, but he has chosen the number 3 in Dallas. Why number 3? It was asked. Per Chris Tanev, 3 is kind of half of 8. Well, newsflash, mathematically, half of 8 is 4. Pretty funny. So kind of half, it's almost half. I personally think what's really going on here, let's bring it up again, is that a 3, if you actually write it out, I'm mirrored, but if a 3, if you write it out, you duplicate it, or let's do it this way. If you put an 8, split it in half, then you kind of get a 3. So I get what he's kind of saying here. It doesn't work perfectly on a hockey jersey, especially with Dallas's font, but I kind of get what he's saying here. The number 3, the actual digit, kind of resembles the digit of a number 8. But either way, I thought that was a very, very funny anecdote to add to this list. Hilarious, hilarious. Chris Tanev will genuinely go down as a fan favorite here. Maybe not a legend just because, we didn't win any cups or anything with him, but he will always be remembered. Just your prototypical perfect defensive defenseman that we loved. And I think most Flames fans are in the mindset of we wish him the best in Dallas. If Dallas makes it to the Stanley Cup final, the Flames get an extra pick. But either way, we wish Chris Tanev the best and can't thank him enough for his time here. And Chris, if you're watching this video, you remember me from Lazy Loaf, we'll welcome you back with open arms if you decide to sign again here in Calgary in the off season. That about does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're new around here and make sure you have a wonderful weekend.